Hey everyone, I'm Nick and welcome to the channel. Now, as you may already know, I really like to have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay in my cars. So I've tested a bunch of adapters that convert an existing wired connection to wireless, and sometimes adapters that add more. And today we're going to focus on two adapters that add more. One adds apps that let you play video on your radio and play media from a microSD card, and the other adds an HDMI input to your radio, both using a wired CarPlay connection. And on top of that, they both also convert your wired CarPlay connection to a wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. So in this video, we're going to test all of that out. The products I'm going to show you today are from ByteWave and their sister company, TeckyGem. Now, the first product I mentioned is this AI box, which is a 4-in-1 device which does wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, media playback off a microSD card, and native video playback using an Android OS that gets repeated into your screen. Got a nice metal bezel around the edge, kind of reminiscent of a smartphone, with some venting on the sides. Again, a microSD card slot on the bottom, a USB-C port on top, and a button to switch between CarPlay and Android Auto if needed. In the box, we also get a manual and a couple of cables. So we get two cables, one that's USB-C to USB-C. So if your car has a USB-C plug for CarPlay, this is what you would use. And the more common USB-A to USB-C, so this side would go into your car and this side into the adapter. So just like that. Now the second device is the 3-in-1 with HDMI. So like I mentioned, it does wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and it turns your radio screen into an HDMI display. Again, we have the same theme, metal surround with some vents, a nice design on the front, a nice braided cable. This one is a bit longer, so you can run it to wherever you need. Actually get a good length here. And it's braided with the metal housing on the end. And in the box, we get a USB-A to USB-C adapter, which will allow you to use this even if your car has a USB-C port for CarPlay. Now, ByteWave also makes a whole range of adapters. We have a very similar option right here that does HDMI and CarPlay. And we also have a whole set of wireless adapters. So these will convert your wired connection to wireless. And what's really cool with these is that they're double-sided. So we've got USB-A on one side and USB-C on the other. This one here will convert wired CarPlay to wireless CarPlay. This one converts wired Android Auto to wireless Android Auto, again with the dual plugs. And this one will convert your wired CarPlay or wired Android Auto to wireless. So if you share a car with someone who uses Android and you only want to use one adapter, you can use this one. They all come with a USB-A to USB-C adapter as well, a little extension, and USB-A to A if you need a little more length. So now that we've seen a bit of the lineup, let's go test out the 4-in-1 AI box and the 3-in-1 HDMI adapter in a car. All right, let's test out the AI box, which allows you to run apps on board, run wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and play videos or media off of a microSD card. So, got our plug. We're in my 2004 Mercedes S-Class that has an aftermarket head unit that has wired CarPlay and wired Android Auto. And I've got my plug right here for CarPlay. So we're gonna plug this in. You can see right here the LED came on. It's connecting. And see, it's running Android and we're in. That's cool. So we see we have an operating system here. We got some apps built in like Netflix, YouTube, TikTok. Let's get this connected to a hotspot. As using a hotspot, I'm going to connect this to the internet. Oh, and by the way, when it's powered on and running, the light is blue. All right, so I'm connected. And then in settings, we also have standard Android settings like apps, storage, display, wallpaper, system, and about. And let's check for an update. There's an update for YouTube. So we'll do that. You can see right here the apps that are open, so I can toggle between settings and update, watch the progression, or go back to home. All right, so we're up to date. Now in our interface, we've got our back button, we got a running apps button, so we can switch between things that are open. We'll close everything. And then, yeah, let's keep going through the tour. So in our settings, we have, as we saw, network and internet. We got personalization. We've got navigation bar position, you can have it on the left or the right. You can have it hide when you don't want it. And floating assistive touch, which is this button right here, which is shortcuts to home, back to the car interface, and clean. So as we saw, the exit button brings us back to the head unit native interface, which is nice. We have Netflix, YouTube, and TikTok, a Files app, which we'll check out in a little bit. We have Bluetooth phone, which will let you pair your phone to use as like a Bluetooth head unit. So you can do that. We've got media, video and music, which we'll check out a little later. We've got Bluetooth music if you want to stream music over Bluetooth to the box. Then we have files. So you can look for your main storage, downloads, and all that, which should look different when we put the microSD card in. Now let's check out one of the native apps, and we'll run YouTube. Load it up.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick, and this is my new to me 2005 Mini Cooper S. Now if you watched the video where I introduced this car, you'll probably notice that it looks a little bit different. And that's because I've been working on it, fixing a couple things, and improving some things. So
that's pretty cool. So as you can see, you could use YouTube. And then it'll be the same thing for Netflix and TikTok that are built in. And then the other way to use media is to put in an SD card. So just pop that in right here. There we go. That's in. We should be able to go to media, video, USB here, and there you go. You can play video natively. That's pretty cool. Now that we have the SD card in, we can access it through the File Explorer as well. Now the next thing we can test is wireless CarPlay through this box. So we'll hit Auto/CarPlay here. We're going to turn on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and we're going to look for wireless dongle-TC93. So the last 4 letters and numbers are unique to your individual adapter. And we're going to go into Bluetooth and find wireless dongle 2C93. And we'll connect via Bluetooth, and it should automatically switch over to connecting us to the adapter for CarPlay. And there we go. Right in, we've got standard Apple CarPlay, all the compatible apps that are installed on the phone showing up right here. So things like Google Maps, Pocket Cast, Spotify. And my head unit has a play pause button, and it actually passes it through to CarPlay through the box, which is very nice. Now if you want to leave Apple CarPlay, just hit this button here, hit home, and we'll drop out. Now if we go back in here, I disconnected my phone. We can connect with my Android phone to wireless dongle 2C93. Same process. There we go. And here we have Android Auto. There we go, nice and responsive. And just like in CarPlay, any app that's installed on your phone that's compatible will show up in here. And there we go. So overall, this adapter gives you a lot of flexibility. It really modernizes your CarPlay head unit. Gives you, the ability to play videos, convert a wired connection to wireless, and even play your own media off an SD card, which is very cool. Our 3-in-1 adapter will let us do wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and the party piece, an HDMI input for your head unit. So we'll plug it in just like we'd plug in a phone for Apple CarPlay. My plug is right here. Here we go. And we have our little status LED right here. It's connecting. And we have 2 options now. We've got CarPlay and Android Auto. We could pair it with Bluetooth to wireless dongle-F456. Again, these 4 letters and numbers are going to be unique to your adapter. Or we can go back and go to HDMI. Let's do a quick tour on Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Let's see it right here. Standard Apple CarPlay. All the compatible apps are installed again. We'll pop into Spotify. Nice standard, great. And you know, if you want to use split screen, we can have maps and media playing right here. So always a good option. Then if you want to exit to the interface for the dongle, you can hit car right here, and we're back right here. If you want to disconnect your phone from Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you can turn off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, and it'll disconnect. So if you want to switch phones, you can do it that way. Do the same thing on an Android phone to test it out, and we're in Android Auto. So, very convenient. Now let's say you want to use something else that's not CarPlay or Android Auto. We'll turn to the HDMI plug. Got a cable right here. We'll start with plugging that in. There we go. A switch right here. Got my switch dock. Just gonna plug in the other end of the HDMI cable. Plug that in here. Got a suitable power bank right here. And I can plug that in right here. And now I'm gonna drop in the switch. I got my controllers connected here, connected there, and we're good to go. As you can see, we're in game. So as you can see, the response for the video is actually quite good, but there's a slight lag for audio, which is a limitation of Apple CarPlay. So there you go. So this HDMI input gives you a lot of flexibility. You could plug in your laptop to have a second screen. You could plug in a video adapter like a Chromecast or Fire TV stick or something like that, or whatever you can think of. Say you're waiting for someone, you're picking someone up, you're on a lunch break, you want to use your radio screen for something else. It gives you lots of options. And the conversion from your wired CarPlay to wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto is also a nice plus. And that's the 4-in-1 AI box from ByteWave. It's really interesting to give you video playback options from your own media to apps, or just the convenience of wireless CarPlay and wireless Android Auto, and the 3-in-1 adapter with HDMI and wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. They're both really interesting options to add video playback to your car, one with HDMI to use an existing device, and the other that can play video files off your own microSD card or apps that are included. If you do choose to watch videos on your radio, please do so in a safe manner. You don't want to drive distracted and put yourself and other people in danger. I want to say a big thank you to ByteWave for sending me these to review. And if you want to get some for yourself, I'll leave links in the video description. Also be sure to check out their wireless adapters if you want to convert your wired CarPlay and Android Auto to wireless. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like. And if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.